Hello, good morning. My thought for the day is being shared by you both. Try and get not too much. I can't really help the background there, but I'll just position the camera in the right position anyway. Yes, well, another day. It's almost the weekend again. Money. It's funny how time flies. You know, life really doesn't change much, does it? You know, I don't know how many of you guys find this. Maybe it's just particular to myself, maybe. I don't know. But, you know, you're Filipina. From what I've seen of other foreigners who you've mixed with and you've seen them with their wives and their girlfriends, and you can't help but think, well, just like everywhere, you see one side and then you see another. And often a lot of my videos are talking about experiences that not only I've experienced, but also I'm sure that you guys have as well. Sure, you might be in a different point in your life and life might seem a little different. There can be many things that affect it. Of course, if you're with a younger lady, much younger than yourself, then you will experience a different thing, like I did with the girls being around every day. It keeps you on your toes, so to speak, mentally, physically as well, because the challenges of a younger person compared to that of, say, a more mature person are going to be quite different. There are a number of channels out there that have their wives as part of their video channel, and therefore you get to see a little bit of an interplay. You get the classic one where they sit there and go, or you have the ones that just sit there and listen like that. But then you also have the ones that talk as well. And it's always good entertainment, and it's also a good observation of seeing just what they are experiencing living with their Filipina. It's funny that when they make comments on maybe my channel, they pick up on things that you wouldn't have thought they would have picked up on. Just sort of goes contrary to the way they appear to me or you on their videos. I wonder just how many of you guys have gone out shopping, purchased a few things, come home, presented them to your partner, said, "Oh, look what I bought today." And maybe an hour or maybe a couple of hours later, maybe even a day later, they find the receipts of what you paid for all these things. And you get the feeling that they're inquiring as to exactly how much something might have cost. Or, in fact, why did you need to spend that much money? Or why did you spend that? And you think to yourself, whoa, wait a minute. Can I not make a choice of what we do with my money compared to maybe what they do to with theirs? Sometimes, of course, you'll get the wife or girlfriend will hand you the receipt from maybe the shopping. It's helpful because many of us go through life shopping with our ladies, pushing the trolley round, adding things to the trolley itself, not really thinking too much about what it costs, because whatever it costs in their mind or your mind, it has to be bought, it has to be purchased. I, for instance, like my spreadable butter from New Zealand. And I like New Zealand butter too. To me, it tastes like real butter. But for some, they're quite happy with a tub of margarine. Same sort of thing, easy to spread. But for me, it doesn't taste right. But also, the other thing is that you can be in a discussion with your partner and you can be saying, well, coffee, yeah, any coffee will do me. At the moment, my favourite one at the moment is Nescafe Cappuccino. And I do know, just from looking at the packet and knowing what it consists of, it's going to be more expensive than the standard original Nescafe 3 in 1. But either one satisfies me. But if you try and explain it sometimes to your partner, that if I want to save money, I'll buy the standard one. Fine, it's my coffee fix, and that's all we really need. But then they can't understand why you're so worried about the money. Because after all, we've gotten them used to the reality of living with a foreigner. And living with a foreigner, you tend to accept that your budget is going to increase on what you spend. It doesn't have to, though. You know, we can live modestly, we can live carefully, and whatever we do, it saves money for another rainy day. Not that there's rain at the moment, but you know, jealousy, suspicion, all those kinds of things seem to find their way into all kinds of relationships, not just here in the Philippines, but yes, in the Philippines, with a Filipina. There's always this feeling that you're walking on eggshells sometimes. I know it's not what they want to try and portray, but the reality is we can't help but think, why do you think that way? You know, can't we just chill out and enjoy the time that we have on this planet without forever going behind one's back, maybe feeling that way? Why does somebody have to feel so insecure? They really do feel, I believe it's part of their makeup. They seem to be very insecure group of people. And you wonder why, because surely us coming along should be creating a feeling of security. And how best but providing a home or paying for the rent, whatever. Their lives have changed. They don't have to worry about the rent, the power, the water. What you have to be sure of is that when you die, that their lives are not going to be altered too much from the everyday situation that they were finding themselves in at this point. I mean, I'm sure that when a family breaks up, there are changes that many of us will understand will be there. But we will always hope that they're able to pick up the pieces and move on in a way that they can meet the challenges of each day. Of course, for some of you, that you might have, when you pass away, you might have provided some kind of a stopgap. In other words, a reasonable sum in the bank, and most of the bills are all paid for each month, and therefore they just have to readjust, and that must be extremely difficult for them. But I've always been one to think that we have an obligation to ensure that that landing is a soft one, because you never know what tomorrow will hold. Maybe life will return to some form of normality, and for some it will, but for a lot it won't. So Sorry to sound like I'm talking in riddles, but you know, my thought for the day is always just my thoughts. As muddled, some days they're clear, sometimes they're muddled. It doesn't mean that my life is muddled. It just means that sometimes lots of things fly around. A bit like shooting stars through my head. Lots of things to think about each day in an effort to normalize life once again for us all. And I hope that those watching either on Grumpy, that's you, or of course British expat in the Philippines, I hope you continue to support both channels because we are helping not just myself but others as well to meet the daily challenges that face us all. That is surviving. And I'm going to get back into doing my thought for the day individually, different. But this morning I thought I'd share it at the same time so I don't have to, in effect, repeat myself. You can hear in this angle or that angle. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget, if you feel the urge, there's PayPal there. So we look forward to hearing from you all. And you have a safe day and God bless. Bye now.